What's up, everybody? I'm John Marr. That's Abby Brooks. That's Aaron Brooks. This is Why We Love Horror. This is the 88th episode of this crew going for it. How you guys doing this week?
Good.
Very good. Wonderful, actually.
It is a wonderful week.
Yeah, it's been a good.
Yes.
We're in like the early part of the horror, the first quarter, I guess, if you could say, was good, solid. But I feel like now we're like really hitting our stride.
Yeah, this week, I would say a highly anticipated movie came out because this is a franchise that has tons of fans. It's also a movie where the trailer looked really good. And let's just get right down to it. We are talking about Final Destination Bloodlines.
So, which one of you is next?
You found some way to stop death and survive.
To break the cycle, there are only two ways. By killing. If you take a life, you get the time that person had left.
Lovely day today.
Got much time left?
Or you have to die.
What? No.
Good luck.
Final Destination, Bloodlines, in theaters May 16th, rated R.
That's the shortest trailer we have. Hopefully we won't get pinged for that. I was happy. I'm pretty sure you guys were happy. I think I'll just really quick at the top. I just like how tight the movie is. Like nothing is wasted. Like everything happens for a reason in this movie, which I would say other installments in this franchise kind of don't have.
No, yeah, I agree. Like you said, we're all anticipating this movie leading into it, but at least for myself, I was definitely guarded before, like, I guess a week or two leading up to it. Just because the last two Final Destinations are my least favorite by a wide margin, especially 4. Obviously, no one likes 4. We all don't like 4. I agree. But 5, other than the ending for me, like, I don't think was really worth it either. So, like, it's been a while since we've had, like, a Final Destination movie that was good. And the third one was good, but it also, like, had that, like, it was kind of good because it's kind of not good quality to it. I don't want to say bad, but and so like I didn't know how they were going to approach Bloodlines here. Like I don't know if they're just going to just make another one because it's Final Destination, just to make another one, which is what the 4 and 5 felt like, or if they were like actual fans who like cared about why people actually love these movies. And yes, the kills are why we show up, but like there's like that charm that had been missing that is back here.
Yeah, no, I agree with all of that. I was very excited for this movie, but I was also nervous. I tried to avoid most of the trailers. I saw the first one that they put out with the tattoo artist guy, which I thought was good. But I had tried to avoid other stuff just leading up to this. And yeah, I think this movie in particular, you can tell that the people that created it actually cared about making a Final Destination movie that was kind of similar or on par to the first 3. Because, yeah, I agree with Aaron. Like, I'm the biggest hater of the 4th movie. I think that movie is, like, everything wrong. Like, it just felt like a cash grab type movie. They just wanted to put a 3D movie out in theaters and have Final Destination behind it. This one is different, and I like that it doesn't feel like a legacy sequel. It's just, it feels like its own thing, which I think was really good.
Yeah, I mean, we won't get to spoilers just yet, but I will say, like, just a few things off the top. Like, I think usually what makes a good Final Destination movie is there's usually like 1 or 2 kills that are just over the top. And I think the producers and directors realized that, and they kind of went for that energy for almost all the kills in this movie. Some are better than others, but they're all like the worst kill in this movie is probably just as good as the best kill in another movie, which is cool. And I have a feeling that we're not going to get any more Final Destinations, so that's good. Like that they did that. And also a really great send off for Tony Todd. I'll say that at the top. I know Aaron will probably say more than me, but I'll say that briefly, and we'll go around one more time before I throw up spoilers.
Yeah. The Tony Todd of it all was like, it was like, even when I watched the trailer, I was like swallowing, like hard swallowing. Like it was just like, hard pause there. But, but Tony Todd is just like, it's one of those actors for me that like, even though like I've always known I liked him, I didn't realize how much I loved him until like he was gone. And it's just like, just seeing him in like as Bloodworth once again, and like in the condition he's in, I didn't know what was even coming, but I was like, oh, like just the shot of him, I was like, I'm screwed. And then the way that it's such like, there's such honor to his character and just the series, I think again here throughout it, that the directors did such a great job with. And like Tony Todd's scene, I fairly certain he wrote it or at least improvised it, like, and they clearly knew he was sick, and they let him like send like a really beautiful message, like that like somehow doesn't like throw off the movie. Also, it doesn't, like, with this movie being so goofy and funny, it also has heart throughout it. So this moment where the humor is taken away, and he does have some kind of wry humor in it as well, but like literally says like, I have cancer, I'm going away, I'm enjoying the rest of my time, and I suggest you do the same. Like, and it was just, you know, like, yeah, it just like, they're like, for a franchise just about death and about the creative ways to kill people and like the Rube Goldberg kind of contraptions of like killing all these people, like it's still at the end of the day what makes the franchise great is like the heart of it, and Tony Todd was the heart of it. He's the voice of it also, and like, you know, just to kind of whistle and close the door and go on his way, like get one last goodbye, it's just like, it was perfect. And like it significantly adds to the movie for me in like a way like I was really pleased to see.
Abby and Ned.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything Aaron said, especially about that scene. I thought the Tony Todd scene was a really great moment, and it felt like weirdly, like, I don't want to use the word meta, but it really was. It felt like him like talking to the people. I was worried that we all knew he was going to be in it. Like, I was worried that it was just going to be kind of like throwaway, like one-off kind of thing. Like, I was actually very surprised that it just felt like he was addressing everybody and saying, you know, basically saying goodbye, honestly. Which I thought, yeah, it was very heartfelt and very touching. Like, it was one of the best scenes in this movie.
Yeah, and I don't think you should have any more Final Destination movies.
I agree. This should be it. The way they did it, it's perfect. Don't make another one.
Yeah.
I think they will, because this is such a success and Hollywood gonna Hollywood. But like, honestly, like, as much as I love this movie and would love to see more, and I'll have a little fan film I'll talk about my idea for a movie at some point. Maybe we can get the Aaron's theory come up, or, you know, Aaron's rant, and I can make it a positive rant. But I have a theory of what I would make a new movie, but I don't like.
All right. We didn't really do a synopsis, but I'll just do a quick one before I throw up spoilers. So this is, you know, if you've seen a Final Destination movie, at least you know what a Final Destination movie is supposed to look like. This one just takes it a little bit further. We actually get like an old school premonition started off. There's a woman, her name is Iris. She winds up being the matriarch of a large family, but she has a premonition about this like fake Space Needle type building like collapsing and killing everybody inside of it on the opening night. And it's all about how she saves everyone in that building. And Death has a much larger job ahead of him this time, as he has to mow through like we don't see hundreds of deaths, but he has to mow through hundreds of people. And since she is one of the final people to die in the premonition, like her family is like one of the last loose ends to tie up. And this is all about the adventures of Iris's family in Final Destination. So let's jump into spoilers. All the kills are fucking fantastic in this movie. They go all out. And I think my favorite character in the franchise was introduced in this movie. I love Eric. He's the oldest son of her.
Bam Margera.
Yeah, he's basically Bam Margera. Yeah. He's the oldest son of the oldest son in the family, even though it turns out he's not a blood relative because he's a bastard, which is the funniest reveal in the movie and the funniest scene in the movie when he finds out he's not his parents' kid. But I'll toss it over to you. What's some of your favorite takeaways?
I mean, I particularly liked how they set this whole movie up. Like, again, usually in the rest of the movies, it's like the main group. There's someone in the main group that has the premonition, and then they save a group of people, and then it's that group that gets hunted down for the rest of the movie. This one, it is very different because it happens years ago, and it's just all like it's the bloodlines that Death is coming after. I thought it was very interesting because then the main character that we're following is the one who she's having the dreams of, like the grandma, which I don't think they really explain why her and not any of the other kids. I guess it doesn't really matter. She's the only one in the family that's having this dream, and she saw everything that happened in the premonition. But I thought it was very interesting how it was a disaster that happened years ago, and now all these years later, it's kind of coming back for everybody else. I thought it was a cool little twist that makes it different than the rest of the 5 other movies.
Yeah. And just like to talk about that opening scene, like probably my second or third favorite of the entire series, which honestly, all of them are great. Even 4 has a good opening. Like, let's be honest. Like, they're all like, it's hard to screw that up. Like, it really is. It's just a disaster. And the way it just builds up, and there's like the weird looking Rob Schneider kid who you hate, who's stealing like coins from the fountain. They're like, that's bad luck to steal coins from the fountain. And then he throws it, and you think it's going to like kill someone, and goes into the vent. And it's just like such a buildup, and you know it's coming, and like everything like that, but you're just waiting. And that first shard from the chandelier falls, cracks the glass, and you're just like seeing it start to happen more and more. And Bloodworth being connected as the kid. I personally did not see that coming. I didn't think if there's one black child in the movie, he's going to grow up to be the one black character throughout the franchise who's reoccurring. I'm sorry, that's on me. If you realize that, congratulations. That might say something about you. But like, it's still like, it's a great opening scene taking place in the same restaurant as Drop, which is cool. It's that rooftop, like they're like, hey, Chris, can we use this same like high rise, but we're gonna make it this? And he's like, sure, I'm a fan, because it really reminded me of the Drop restaurant.
It practically is the Drop restaurant, I think. Yeah, it's very, very close. And the thing is, like, the outside of that building looks much smaller than the inside of it. Like, that, it's cavernous inside of it. And like, I think as far as like opening scenes in this movie go on, like this opening scene goes on for a long time. Like they mow through a lot of people in a lot of different ways, and it's like the good kind of CGI. Like, so I'm glad it wasn't crappy CGI. It's all good CGI. So.
I will say, like, slight nitpick on how it looked overall to me. Like, it felt like it looked like a Netflix streaming movie with like that digital gloss to it, but that is what it is. Just slight like criticism. And I noticed it from that first scene. And I also liked, going back to positives, how the first shot of the movie, it opens with the train tracks and their car driving over it. And that's how it closes as well, which is poetry.
Yeah.
And the penny is a character in this movie, because like they had the premonition that the kid throws the penny and the penny goes into the deal, and then when she stops the premonition, it's because she rips the penny out of the kid's hand and she keeps it, and she keeps the penny. But then at some point in the movie, they lose the penny, and the penny has its own subplot, which is really great. And it winds up lodged in the train tracks at the end, derailing an entire train, causing another huge disaster.
I saw a very good Letterboxd review from either a friend or one of the popular ones that was like, this movie is a great argument to outlaw pennies.
I think did Payson write that? So somebody wrote that.
Wrote to Payson then.
Congratulations.
He probably stole it from somebody else. Like so many people on Letterboxd. Aaron rant coming. Do not steal your jokes and then use them. I know who you people are.
I remember seeing that too. I'll look it up while you guys keep talking. Yeah, it was definitely somebody we know.
My favorite kill, though, if I had to pick, because like this movie has a ton of great kills. Like there's no bad kills exactly, but my favorite one is probably most people's favorite, and I'll cheat and say it's the MRI peanut butter fiasco.
Ah, so good.
Like it's just like it starts out opening on the vending machine, and like the classic, like don't tip the vending machine. I was like, okay, they're not gonna like just have someone get smashed by a vending machine. No way. But maybe because it's like so telegraphed, but no, they're not going to do that. But like Bobby and Eric are trying to get a peanut butter cup out for Bobby because he has, they're trying to kill him so that it can be skipped. And, of course it gets stuck. So they have to do the old, like, tip the machine, don't tip the machine. It's like a guy down the hallway, like, looking at them. And he's like, we're maintenance, don't worry. Like, again, like, there's just, like, a good, lighthearted humor in this movie.
Like, Eric's great in every scene. Like, I've never seen that actor before. But
No, everybody loves Eric. Like, I'm like, everybody does. And, so like, and I do like with his twist.
He's the one redneck that gets killed in Lowlifes. I just, oh my goodness, I didn't recognize him. He's in that.
There we go.
Okay.
And he's one of the children in the bus in Trick or Treat. But I never would have recognized him.
Good filmography. Gets the peanut butter cups. They get Bobby to have his anaphylactic shock or whatever, and he's, turning into like the possessor, melting monster, basically, from, and everything like that. And then, Eric, of course, finally has to deal with all his piercings coming out because the MRI machine has gone up to research level power.
They shouldn't be able to do that. They shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, it's awfully unsafe. And like, it's to the point where it's like Magneto's basically in the building. People, like the nurses, like lanyards are like popping out outside of the door.
Yeah, I think the funniest part is like, I mean, like I said, Eric is supposed to be immune because he's not part of the family. But then they kind of throw in the caveat that if you interfere, like that just fucks you over too. And they do it very subtly in a very like non-X-rated way. But Eric clearly has a Prince Albert piercing because he's sucked into the MRI machine by his penis,
right?
Which is crazy.
And he gets absolutely crunched, and then like his severed arm is still holding the EpiPen.
Yeah,
he has to go grab it, and it's just like, and then after all that, you're like, okay, Bobby's getting out of this. He's gonna die some other time because we know they're all dying, but like, and then the spring that you've forgotten about from the vending machine pops out of the like glass straight through his head and just starts rotating on the MRI machine. I was just like, I don't know how many, double deaths there's been in the Final Destination. There's been like a handful though. Like there's a hardware store with the two and a couple
only the one girl dies in the hardware store. I think it's just the tanning beds because the
tanning beds.
Right.
So I mean, the tanning bed's great. I'd put this ahead of the tanning beds. Just with regards to like the way it all ends and how it all looks by the end of it. And like, this was like, just like perfect death scene. And like, it's like, the MRI scene, that's the scene from this.
Yeah. I would say even the garbage truck kill is pretty good. Like the effects in that are pretty good. And just like, there's a lot of like action in this movie too, which is cool. Like there's a lot of like, oh, we got to stop it from happening. There's a lot of people running around. Abby, go ahead. I'm sure you have one more thing you want to say at least.
Well, I do like that with the Eric character. So I mentioned the very first trailer that they released for this movie was basically his death, or you think it's his death. But I did like that they kind of did a little twist where he actually didn't. It was the whole, he's in his tattoo shop and like all of this stuff happens. He gets like strung up by the fan and then a fire starts. You think he dies. And like, in the movie, you think he dies. When you see the trailer, people were kind of, I was a little annoyed. I'm like, oh, they showed an entire death. That's kind of annoying. But he doesn't die in that scene, obviously, because he dies in this MRI scene. I thought that was actually a cool thing because it's like, oh, they didn't show his death in a trailer. They didn't waste that. And it's still a really good scene. So I thought that was pretty cool, too. There's also a lot of like face smashing deaths in this movie. I'm not complaining. I mean, it's maybe a little repetitive, like even in the MRI one with the spring from the vending machine, and then one of the first deaths in the movie, the grandma character gets impaled. I forget with what, but there's a lot of face.
It's the weather vane from the top of the house.
That's right. That's right. But a lot of face smashing in this movie.
Yeah, there is a lot of CGI face smashing.
Yeah,
it's a lot of Mortal Kombat 1 type face smashing in this movie. I'll say they love this. These guys love Mortal Kombat because it's the same exact graphics. But yeah, then we kind of like wrap things up, and I'll say too, it's more subtle than the penny, but we do also see like there's like homages to the other movies. Like we definitely see a logging truck go past them at one point, and the train at the end of the movie is carrying logs as
And
well.
they get hit by logs.
And then the movie ends with them getting hit by these logs, just like it. So everyone, if you're a fan of any of the movies, any of the good ones, you're gonna get callbacks to all that stuff. And then the last thing I probably want to say is soundtrack kicks ass. Like it's songs from all different generations, but they're all the correct songs. I'll just say that they're all like every needle drop hits in this movie.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Is that everything? Should we go on to ratings?
I think we covered it.
Let's do it. All right. I think we'll just start with Aaron. I believe Aaron might have, or no, Abby. I think you had the.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I can start. I really enjoyed this. I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie. I rated this very similarly to pretty much the exact same as the first three in the series. I'm not quite ready to put this above those movies just because I think from iconicness, like the first three movies have something that it like a death or opening scene that I think is just really difficult to top for me. I think maybe over time this movie could really get above some of those for me, but I gave this a 4 out of 5.
All right, Aaron.
So yeah, I've been saying this to Abby. She knows what I'm about to say. This is our second Final Destination movie of the year, everybody. Congratulations. The Monkey was the first one, and it's like The Monkey was like a very black comedy, dark, like sardonic kind of take on it. This is the more fun, enjoyable, lighthearted, but both have a lot of similarities to them where they have the overall discussion about how life is, meant to be enjoyed and it can be gone at any moment. And the nihilism in both is very present, but it's presented in very different ways. And this one was just a little more palatable, enjoyable, and just worked a little better for me overall. I think some of the problems with the third act and the Monkey not present here. And thank goodness. This is one of the best of the year. 4.5 videotapes for me. This is I think the best movie in the series. Maybe not my favorite yet. It's probably right behind 1 and 2 for me and right in there with 3. So for me, I just think this is beyond a success and just the Tony Todd of it all. I know I ranted for 2 minutes at the beginning, but that scene is just one of my favorite scenes I can remember in a horror movie. It's kind of unfair, because of the gravity of it all, but it just did I'm really glad Tony Todd got that chance with a movie that opened to $50 million because I know not everybody realized watching it who the hell he was. I get it, but maybe more people now know about an actor who should have gotten more shine while he was around.
Agreed. And I agree with pretty much everything Aaron said. I actually think this is the best Final Destination movie. I think it should be the final Destination movie. I think don't make any more. Just if you want to do a similar concept, go right for it, but do not end the franchise here. You've done it. No other franchise gets this kind of send off. You did it.
Can I say one thing before you give your rating?
Yeah.
Real quick. This is my idea. If they do another one, which please God don't do another one, make it about an entire town that just accepts just escapes a catastrophe, and that entire town having to deal with
that is kind
cheating.
of the Monkey.
That's the Monkey.
So we're done.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, but I'm with Aaron. 4.5. Please don't make another one. I'm begging you. Don't do it. You did. You've won. You've. This thing was on. It wasn't on life support, but people had fucked with this concept so much between 4 and 5, and it was oh, this is a fucking joke. And you reversed expectations and made the best movie in the franchise. Fucking stop. You did it.
Yeah, right. The Monkey already did my idea, so there you go.
That being said, we normally would do the Why We Love Horror challenge here, but since we're pretty much putting these out on demand. We're eventually going to get ahead of ourselves in the Why We Love Horror Challenge. So we are splitting that off into its own show, which we'll see Thursdays. We'll just cover all of our movies a little more in depth every Thursday. I don't even have a title for the show yet. It'll probably just be Why We Love Horror Challenge or some bullshit. But that'll be on Thursdays. But if you did make it this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. The Letterboxd challenge I'm talking about, that's in the show, is there. That's what we're going to be doing on Thursday. The challenges from that Letterboxd challenge. Schedule here is the same. Now I could say that. Mondays versus.
Ooh.
Yeah. Apparently Jeremy Potters watches it. Thanks, Jeremy. So Jeremy Potters and nobody else watches versus. Why Liv Loves Horror. My daughter could fart into the camera for 5 minutes and 500 people would watch that. So that's cool. That's on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, Aaron unwinds. He's got like about 10 more Evil Bong movies to get through before his contract.
I have nothing to say about him.
before we let him out of his contract. So Thursday will be the Why We Love Horror Challenge edition. And then Friday is always Why We Love Horror Trivia. And we'll see you throughout the week. I don't know what we're covering next, but if a movie comes out, we will cover it. So until next time, I'm John Maher, and that's Abby Brooks and Aaron Brooks. This has been Why We Love Horror.